Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. I decided to quickly do a video instead of my normal written blog posts, just for a change, and because it's really an exciting time for me right now. I am baking baby number 3 and I'm currently in my second trimester, and I wanted to just do a quick update on how it's gone so far and how I'm feeling and all that stuff. So I'll start off by sharing how I found out. So I found out quite late in my pregnancy. I was about 9 weeks along when I suspected that I might be pregnant, and I also had a feeling that it might have not been necessarily pregnancy, but maybe my issues with my iron levels and my blood sugar. So I went to the doctor and he confirmed that I was pregnant. Initially, he thought I was a little bit further along after doing an internal check. He thought I was about 16 weeks along at the time, but I later saw a gynae and he was able to confirm that I was only 9 weeks along, which then at that point was a huge relief, because imagine the shock, firstly, that I was pregnant. I missed all the symptoms. I didn't even suspect it. I didn't even think I was pregnant, to then the possibility that I was already 16 weeks along. I hadn't been watching what I was eating. I was drinking my champagne. So obviously I was quite nervous already at that point in time. So the few weeks, bought me some time, I guess. And then I found out it was only 9 weeks. So that was a relief. And I feel like with this pregnancy being my third pregnancy, I started showing very, very early. So already by 10 weeks, one could tell that I was pregnant, which meant that I had to tell or share with people a bit earlier than I would have ordinarily perhaps chosen to do so. But just seeing how everyone was so excited for us really brought a sense of relief. I knew that I had support, and everyone kind of knew that we did want to have a third baby in any case. So yeah, that was a great relief and sense of comfort for us. And in terms of the actual timing of the baby, so when I fell pregnant, I was on a contraceptive, and I actually found myself going back to sort of try see how it happened and what had happened for me to fall pregnant, because I was on the same contraceptive for a couple of years. So then I realized that I had been on an antibiotic when I had bronchitis a couple of months ago, and I think a week or two after that my husband had also been on an antibiotic for a chest infection. So yeah, that gap was all it took for this baby to come. And for us, it was a couple of months earlier than what we would have planned if it was, a planned thing. I think we had we were talking about having another baby either later this year or early next year. So in terms of timing, I think that's the only thing that made this baby a surprise. But now it is a well-embraced one, and something that we're looking forward to as well. The kids are excited. I took Lizzie out for dinner to tell him, and he was very, very excited. He told me he's already got a name and he hopes it's a boy so they can play soccer. And having a sister has been really, really rough for him. So yeah, he's quite excited. And then my daughter, who's turning 3, has an idea of the concept of a baby, so she knows that there's a baby in my tummy. She talks to the baby, she touches my tummy, she says she's prepared to share her stroller, her old car seat, cot, and all of her stuff with the baby. But I don't think, obviously at the age of like 2 and a bit, she obviously doesn't get the full sense or the full idea that this baby's gonna be a permanent part of our lives. But my daughter's very loving, and I'm quite confident that with time really she'll be excited as well about the baby. And so far I've just entered my second trimester, and I've been feeling a bit more energetic. Because I missed all the symptoms in my first trimester, I can't really tell like a big difference, except that I've got a little bit more energy to go for my daily walks. I try and walk or jog at least every day during the week, or 4 times a week. And sometimes I take the kids with me and they jump on like the stroller or the bicycle and they join me. And then I'm going to my Pilates classes, which I do every Monday evening. So that will really be great for supporting my back and my already very separated abdominal muscles from the other 2 pregnancies. So yeah, that's really just giving me a bit more strength and a bit more energy, I think, for this trimester. I'm carrying big, I think, and apparently I get told that almost every single day. It is so annoying. Someone will tell me how big I am. Am I sure I'm only 3 months or 4 months or whatever? Yeah, and it's really annoying and sometimes hurtful. But I'm not worrying about my weight right now. That is not something that I'm going to concern myself with. If I blow up, I blow up. I have carried big with all the other kids as well. So that's the likelihood that it will be the same with this pregnancy as well. I'll just stand up and show you. There. So yeah, I carry how I carry, and I'm really doing a lot of mental work not to let all the comments get to me. And in terms of telling everyone, I think everyone was very supportive in my house, but the funny one was actually telling my nanny, who's been with us for a couple of years, and also a few years. Well, when I first met her, I was pregnant with Lisedi, and so she's grown up with my kids literally, even though there was a break in between that. So when I told her that I'm having a baby, she was like, oh, I know. And that kind of caught me off guard, because I was like, how do you know? I didn't tell you. And I knew that I was showing a bit, but I didn't think she had noticed. But then it wasn't actually that. She said that she could tell just by the way the kids were behaving. And for her, I don't know if it's a superstition or something that she was told growing up, that when a child acts a certain way, it just means that the mom's expecting a baby. So she then told me that Kumo, after school, my daughter, every day had taken a doll and asked for the doll to be on her back, which is out of the ordinary because she doesn't really put her dolls on her back. And she said that was the first kind of thing where your baby's acting like a mommy. And also with my daughter, she'd take the doll's bottle, fill it up with water, and she'd actually drink it herself and act like a baby, or like constantly feed the baby. And apparently her and my son were fighting over this baby bottle, which is very unusual for my son to be involved with my daughter and the doll playing. He really doesn't get involved unless she asks him to, but they were literally fighting over this baby bottle. And then she was like, something's cooking. And yeah, she told me at that point, that was around November, so she already knew then. And I only did my pregnancy test towards mid December, so she already had known. And I was just like, woman, why didn't you tell me? I mean, why didn't you tell me? I didn't know. You'd known for like a month before, or suspected or whatever. And she was just like, no, it's just a thing that she just grew up knowing, so she didn't think she needed to tell me or whatever. So yeah, that was very interesting for me. And then yeah, so I will be documenting hopefully a lot more of these videos, and also writing on the blog and on my Instagram, my Facebook pages, and I'll be sharing this journey with you. Thank you so much for embracing my family and I, and allowing us to share our journey with you. I really wish you the very best of luck for 2019, and I hope it's a good year for you and your family. I'm very excited to be expanding ours and sharing more of our journey with you. Take care.